downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Marlon Williams. Goes to the free. Touchdown!
Hey guys, everybody, welcome into another edition of the Gridiron and Sensor podcast. It's your boy Brendan and Trevor tonight, and we're rocking on some Washington football season preview, rolling through the Big Ten. Trev, I'm laughing at myself because I was gonna say some really dumb shit start this one, but I decided not to. Oh my god, I was gonna do it, but I decided not to pull the trigger.
I'm so gonna ask you after we're done, by the way.
I might pull it out at some point.
Okay, fantastic.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'll be cackling over here if you do.
Hey, all right. Well, you know what? I'll just do. What's that smell like, Trevor? I don't know. You smell that? It smells like some fish around here. We in Pike's Place Market, Seattle. I don't know. No, we're not. No. This is a Gridiron Uncensored podcast, baby. That's where we're at. But we are covering. Washington tonight. I know I had to do it.
Let it go. Just let it go. Next time when you have a thought, just let it go.
Yeah, I do that, and that's why my wife's probably leaving me. But no, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, guys, let's get into it. Trevor, when we talk 2024 football first. When we do these previews, we look back before we go forward, guys, and we'll get a little bit of coaching staff. Obviously, mentioned Jedd Fisch. I like the guy. He gets unnecessary hate from Arizona fans. They should be grateful. But either way, we're going to talk some 2024 real quick before we move on and hit up the 2025 preview. So obviously, Washington fans, but it's for anybody that just checking out the preview. All right, what happened? What was going on with Washington? Well, 2024, 6-7, not a great year, but there was moments of, okay, you go out and beat Washington, you beat Northwestern, a couple wins early, you beat USC, you still beat UCLA, so you're owning those teams from the old Pac-12. You do take it, from Oregon, which was rough, and then a 1-point loss to Louisville in the bowl game. Tough loss there. But there's room for obviously improvement here. But I think Jedd Fisch and the crew, they're kind of getting what they need now. They're kind of building that momentum in the roster that they want. Guys, let us know what you thought about 2024 season. Trev, moving into 25 and, kind of what we're seeing. Look, this team was the 61st overall offense last year and the 28th defense in the country in 2024. So there's room to build. The coaching staff, what do you think about it, Trev?
There's some movement. There's some movement. Not really a whole lot coming in necessarily, but there are movement of people leaving, other people taking other positions. Obviously the biggest one, in my opinion, is Jimmy Doherty moving from his old position to offensive coordinator and still hanging on to heading up the quarterbacks coach. But he's taken over the offensive coordinator duties. And look, I like him a lot. I really do. He's a younger guy. He was with Washington way back as an assistant coach. And I'll tell you what, I think I really do like what he brings to the table as far as his offensive schemes and what he does. Obviously, Jedd Fisch likes what he's been doing, promoting from within, keeping the continuity, always a good thing. Yeah. Michael Switzer is becoming the offensive line coach. His experience from 2018 to 2021, Switzer was the offensive coordinator, offensive line coach at Indiana State, where they ranked actually number 14th in the nation in rushing offense at 241.5 yards per game. So the guy is more run-oriented, more so than anything else, which is something that you definitely need in the Big Ten, and I think it's a good promotion for Washington. They did bring in Ryan Waters, formerly from Purdue, was hired as the new defensive coordinator. Like, he spent 2 seasons as the Purdue head coach. Obviously, didn't do great. It didn't go as well as he'd hoped. I think Ryan Walters will be a great addition to the Washington program, and it potentially could be a good reset for him as well. Just kind of get his footing back underneath Jedd Fisch, who's a very good head coach. He's got proven track record back down from Arizona. Ryan Walters is a big addition to this team, obviously, in many respects. And that's who it was. God bless it. I can't believe I forgot that. He replaced Steve Belichick. God bless. I can't believe I forgot that.
Hey man, it was like a quick turnaround, man, for old
It was
Steve.
Belichick was in and out really quick.
Yeah.
But those are my three main coaching changes that will definitely affect the look, the offense, and the defense, and how they perform this season. Potentially good, but also potentially not so great. We'll just kind of have to see how the coaching additions of Ryan Walters coming in, and then the promotions for Jimmy Dowdy and Michael Switzer on how they affect the offense and the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Walters, coming in, I think that's just him getting back to what he does best. Some guys try out their hand at being a head coach, and sometimes it's just too much to more than they can choose.
And really, it's about the program you choose.
Yeah,
it's not all programs are created equal as far as bringing in somebody from a coordinator spot to do the head coaching duties. It's not all positions are made for a coordinator to go into those positions.
Yeah, and Purdue's tough, especially after Brom left and so many people left with him. It was tough ask, but as a coordinator, he did great at Illinois. He had a really strong defense there. I think this is going to be a strong hire for Washington, excuse me. And you see Trevor's wearing a Michigan jersey, right? Michigan fans here, we know Jed Fish from the Harbaugh tree. I loved having Jed Fish, at Michigan. I hated seeing him leave.
Yeah, it was definitely a rough loss.
It sucked. And then, seeing him in Arizona and what he did with that program and what he did with Noah Fafita as a young, talented quarterback. Well, that's kind of lead into what we're about to talk about offensively.
That's right.
But before we get into that, Trev, a couple of numbers for 2025 and what Bill Connolly's put out. Returning productions, it got us at 52%. SP Plus has you as the 39th rated team in the country. And then strength of schedule, you're facing the 28th toughest schedule according to Bill Connolly's S&P Plus numbers. So something to keep an eye on. But we talked about returning production, all that stuff that factors in the transfer portal. Trev, let's go ahead and talk about that.
Let's talk about that. There's a couple of interesting little tidbits here in the transfer portal.
Yeah, there's some good ones, man. I like this class, to be honest. It's not rated like in the top 10 or anything, but it's a 40 rated class, 19 in and 33 leaving. But there's some guys in here that I like. Christian is one. Carver Willis is a guy that's going to be vital to this program on the offensive line. And then Takario Davis, dude's a beast. Finally joining him back from Arizona. So Trev, those are a couple of guys that I see as, impact players. Obviously there's more, a lot more, but I just try to do a quick hitter. And then on the outside, Thaddeus Dixon leaving, Kamori House, Holtzclaw, Jordan Shaw, guys like that. Those suck to lose. But again, I think this is a good portal class, and you guys are going to kind of like what I have to say on this team later. Trev, what are you seeing on the portal?
Well, I'm seeing some stuff, and
you're not feeling it?
I'll tell you what, this Jonte Cook crap, like, I don't even understand that.
Dude.
How do you go from Texas, then you go to Washington, and then you flip script, and then you go to Syracuse? That doesn't even track to me. I don't even understand.
He got a bag from
I was like,
Brown.
holy crap, they got this massive good pickup, and then nope, just kidding.
Yeah. I know you look at it, and then 24/7, it still has them as an incoming transfer, and then they should just remove them. But
yeah, they should remove them. They need to update their stuff a bit. But I overall, I'm not disappointed with their portal class. I would say more or less they have a lot of best way to put this is I think there's a lot of good ancillary pieces, sub-in pieces, potentially rotational. Yeah, thank you. That's a better word than what I found in my brain.
I liked it.
But like you said, Takario Davis coming over from Arizona, huge. That's huge. That'll be a great one for him. 6'4" corner. Come on, you can't get much better than that. He can pretty much hang with everybody, and his length will help them out a ton out there out there on the edge. I like the offensive linemen that they picked up, one from Kansas State, one from OU. I like both of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will both, in my opinion, they will probably make an impact this season.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And then obviously they're over, and I'm a big recruiting guy, so I like looking at everything. So I love some of the defensive pickups and their 4-star wide receiver that they picked up in the recruiting class this year, along with Champ Tualea, which is a freshman interior offensive lineman at 6'4", 325 pounds. As a freshman, everybody, I just want to let you know that is a big human being. That is amazing. That is a great piece that could potentially become a rotational piece, if not a starter, depending on how he performs over the off season.
Yep.
They picked up a couple different other ones, like the tight end, big body tight end. Also a 4-star. So I mean, they had the 27 overall recruiting class, which is pretty darn good, considering that they didn't do much in the portal, but they did something in there, got some freshmen in there.
Yeah.
So overall, Brendan, I like it. Overall, recruiting in general. I would have liked to see a little bit more on the gameplay, like game breakers, like maybe some big time wide receivers. But
sure,
hey, sometimes out there in Washington, you are limited on what you can get over there at times. So I think this season is going to be very important for Washington overall in recruiting and the transfer portal going into 2026. I think will be a very big year. If they have a successful year, I think they will be able to turn that into a lot of wins in on the recruiting trail and in the transfer portal.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, this is a crucial season for Jedd Fisch and crew. Obviously Washington just played for a national championship, but then, conference changes and all this other stuff going on, coaching changes with DeBoer leaving. But Jedd Fisch is trying to build something offensively and defensively that is going to last in the Big Ten. This is not the Pac-12 where you just try to throw it all over the field and then you run into somebody that the defense locks you down and your top quarterback can't do it. You got to be able to run. You got to be able to hold your own on D. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk some offense here, because I think he's got a hell of a piece to build around in Damon Williams. Just looking at what he did last year when he stepped in, this is a young guy. He's talented as hell. And dude threw for almost 1,000 yards, 82 completions, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, that's all right. This guy's, he's getting it. And then he can run too. He's quick. That alone is something that you can easily build off of with him. And he's a sophomore. At least according to this. I mean, let me know. But I think he's going to be very impressive. And then after that, it's, how does the offensive line help him? And that's where, we want to see the guys from the transfer portal really step up. Carver Willis is one he's going to do that. He is going to step in right away. You mentioned, Hatchett coming up from OU. Where does he step into the rotation? But I mean, there's guys, Finau is another one he's been there. He's a good offensive lineman. So there's pieces, just how well does the full 5 mesh. Outside of that, I think halfback, just along with Coleman, he's one. I love that dude. Like watching him at Arizona, I was like, I love how this guy runs. It's powerful. He's just a tough running back. Him staying for an extra year, gigantic. I want to see the tight end usage improve. But then outside of that, you mentioned maybe getting some bigger game breakers, out wide. And that's I agree with that. They did get Amari Evans. He did have a solid year last year at Penn State, 21 receptions, 415, 5 touchdowns. And he's getting about 20 yards a catch. So that's pretty solid. And then, to pair with him, you've got Boston, who's a reliable weapon from last year. So there's guys that just, how well does it all click and how does it mesh, next year, or this year under Fish. I think it's going to be all right. Trev, anything else like offensively or anything that you're seeing offensively?
Offensively, honestly, you pretty much covered it. Like you said, the offensive line will be interesting. I think it'll be fine, to be honest with you. I think they're not gonna miss much of a beat from last season. I think they'll be improved and they will have an improved roster. I think they will, tentatively speaking, I feel like they are gonna be probably the surprise team out of the Big Ten. Not necessarily, we weren't expecting them to do well. I think that it's more or less I didn't expect them to do this well.
Yeah.
So that's I think that they are going to be better than what is expected of them. Even though my hiccups with it is just I'm a little worried about the defensive front, and I'm a little worried about their secondary, just a little bit, not much, but I'm a little bit worried about that.
Yo, let's say defense, man. Hit it.
Yeah. So my thing is like they have Tatai Ukulele, defensive lineman, Elenius Davis. I apologize if I didn't pronounce those right. I really did practice those a little bit before the show just to see if I could try and get it.
Yeah.
It didn't work out that well.
Dude, names are tough, man.
But that being said, and then also talked about those two returners, plus they also added Samote Peppa from Utah at 6'3", 340, and Tario Thompson from Western Michigan at 6'3", 293. Both of those guys could be good rotational pieces, if not starters, depending on how they progress over the offseason. I already mentioned Ukulele. He's coming over from Arizona. He's projected to be a player in the defensive line for sure. One, Jed Fish knows him. And I think that he will be a big part of their defensive line. Now, when I said the defensive front, I kind of was more or less referring to the linebacking core. I'm a little concerned with it. Not much, but I am a little bit concerned with the linebacking core specifically, where I don't know. I mean, I know the defensive line I think will be fine, but that second level I'm a little worried about.
Yeah.
But
I think that's fair.
I'm not saying that they won't be able to do anything about it, and it's not saying the players they have aren't really good players. I'm just saying I don't know enough about the linebackers. I think there's a lot of question marks, I should say, with the linebacking core at this point in time.
No, I think that's fair with the linebacking core, especially the main guys are coming back from injury. And that's always the question: how quickly do they get back up to speed? Right. But they did get some linebackers out of the portal that I think can step up, quickly. Yep. Alakuda coming up from Washington State. That's an interesting, coming over from a rival.
Yeah. Then you got Jacob Manu. Yeah. Coming over from Arizona as well.
Manu's I think that's an important one. Mm-hmm. I think the way you say it is Ezra Alexander, but it's got one of those hyphens in it. I'm not gonna fuck with it anymore. Either way, the dude, he flew all over the field at UCF. So like there's guys that are gonna step in. It's just the depth is obviously worry about that. The guy's coming back from injury, so I think that's fair to at least question that how that's gonna play out. I agree. Right. I think the defensive line will improve nicely. All the guys that you mentioned, but they've got to get better at getting after the quarterback. Trev, they're 113th last year in sack rate. So I mean that's something you've got to push that envelope to protect your back end. And that we haven't talked about that yet, but we mentioned Tacario Davis. Yeah. That's a guy that he steps in immediately. Okay, you're good there. You got Price Sock already from last year. The dude's impressive. So now you have two solid cornerbacks. Okay, safeties, they've got some bodies there. You've got some veterans there. McLaughlin's a guy that you watch out for, stepping up. I kind of like what this roster's got, man. There's some questions, but if things click and Ryan Walters gets this defense, humming like he did at Illinois, okay, now your defense is going to keep you in every game. Damon Williams, can he get the ball to the, does offensive line hold up? So
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be interesting, Trev.
And with that kind of said, I really want to talk about the schedule because after
let's
talking about this, let's take a look at the schedule here real quick and see what you're seeing, because I think I see a lot of opportunities.
I do too, and I don't know if people are even talking about Washington. Like when people look at this, like the Big Ten schedules, they see these helmets and they're like, oh, Wisconsin, Purdue. Like you see all these teams. So Washington, they're not the same as they were. A lot of these guys are just they're casual type fans. They think just they don't look at what's going on behind the scenes. They don't look at the rosters. I'm telling you, man, I think this Washington team has room to really make it work. The way the schedule sets up, the bye week's kind of in that first week in November there. After the bye week, I think there's a lot of room to run if that start of the season is going smooth. Trev, what are you seeing?
I love that the Oregon game's at Husky Stadium. I love that game is at home. Yes. That's fantastic. That's a great way to end the season too. Brendan, what's the over-under? I forgot to look.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to say that shit, man. My bad. So looking at the over-under on this one, it's currently at 7.5.
7? Oh, really? Okay.
7.5.
7.5. All right. So I think you guys are winning your first 3 games. I really do think that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, again, I put this out. I will be spending money this season because I will wear a Washington Huskies jersey if y'all beat Ohio State. I will guarantee that shit.
Hell yeah.
I will buy me a Husky jersey. At minimum, I will buy the baddest Husky shirt I can find. And if anybody wants to donate me one, let me know. Hit me up in the DMs.
Yeah, I'll throw in on that too. Don't donate me a shirt if you guys win. If not,
I'll wear it on air. I will give you a shout out. I will do all that fun stuff. But no, Ohio State will be very tough. But luckily, you will be in Seattle. So I mean that's half the battle right there. You might be able to catch them napping on you a bit. Maryland, I think you'll beat them. I think you'll beat Rutgers, even though Rutgers will be improved this year. I'll just move on from that.
Oh man.
No, honestly,
being
that the game is in Ann Arbor, and this is really preliminary because I really don't even know what our quarterback situation really is. To be perfectly honest, Michigan's quarterback situation is a big question mark. I know all the national pundits are like, Underwood's got the most to prove, which he does. If he becomes the starter, like nobody even knows if he's going to even be the starter yet. So we all assume that, but
you know what assuming does.
But yeah, I mean, you guys beat Michigan last year. That's not saying a whole lot because they had like no quarterback, but you still beat them. You beat that defense. You put up 27 on them. And that's not to snuff at all.
Yeah.
So I think you have a really good chance of really putting it to Michigan at home in the big house. Illinois, I think they are way overrated. So I hope you stomp the crap out of them. I really, their coach annoys the shit out of me.
Oh,
their coach annoys the shit out of me. By the way,
Bert
yeah.
Bielema. I know it's Brett, but we call him Bert.
Yeah, he makes me look. He makes me look tiny, and I'm not a small guy. But no, I think Illinois is way overrated to be ranked. To be ranked at all at Illinois right now. I think is ridiculous in my opinion.
Haterade on Illinois, man.
I mean, I don't mind Illinois. I think that they are overrated, and I hope Washington, you prove me right.
You gonna buy another jersey?
No,
not on this.
It is for the premier wins here, folks. I'm only doing this for the premier wins, where the massive underdog, more than likely the massive underdog. I will definitely do that. I'm gonna have to start making myself a little fund every paycheck.
I want to get a GoFundMe going, bro. We're gonna have some problems.
God bless. But no, I think 8 wins is definitely doable, but I really think your ceiling in my opinion, should be the Big Ten championship.
Oh shit!
In
All
my
right,
opinion, looking at your schedule,
yeah,
I only see two potentially guaranteed losses where you will more than likely have less talent, and that is Ohio State and that is Oregon. Everyone else you should be in a game with.
yeah.
You should have a game against. No doubt in my mind. I really hate the fact that I'm saying that out loud, but
Hey, keep it real,
but
man.
it is the truth. It really is the truth because we don't know what Michigan's defense is going to be like with the massive losses that they took at corner, and I think that you can beat Wisconsin in Madison. I think you can definitely beat Purdue. I think UCLA. I hope you stomp them. That'd be great for the show here because that would be phenomenal. I would love it. And Oregon, look, end of season, last thing, depending on where Oregon is sitting, that is a potential game where you could walk into Seattle or you could go into your own stadium and walk out and potentially be playing at this point, at this end of the season. This could be a play-in game for the Big Ten championship.
I mean, that would be massive. I mean, I can see the vision, my friend. I do. And when I look at it real quick, my floor is 7-5. I think there's enough talent on this team to be in every game, but the 5 would be, I mean, that's the worst case scenario. You do lose to Ohio State, Michigan, Illinois, Oregon, you drop a game to maybe Wisconsin, maybe you lose the Apple Cup, which would be horrible. I mean, with the way Washington State's been, riddled with transfer portal and coaching losses and everything else. But either way, I could see a 7-5 being the floor. But the ceiling, I've got 10-2 as the ceiling, and I think that I mean, you'd be right in the race for the Big Ten, championship there. I mean, I think Ohio State is going to be tough, but still they've got a young quarterback that they're dealing with. That yes, he's talented, but we haven't seen him play live, legitimate live snaps. Michigan, I think I'm a little more bullish on their defense, even losing Will Johnson and Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. I think the rotation pieces they have is going to be tough. It's going to be a lot harder to move on this Wink defense because he's got it figured out. But again, it is the offense that, okay, I think it's going to be better than last year, but how much? We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
You are in Michigan Stadium. The Illinois team, I think, is really talented. I do. I like the pieces there. They've got a veteran quarterback coming back. Bielema does annoy me, but I think there's talent there. And then Oregon, again, a talented team, loaded with talent. I mean, loaded. But their quarterback situation is one that I question. Dante Moore, how well does he do after sitting a year? Did he really improve? So there's question marks throughout here that could get you to that 10-win season.
Just a quick point is that outside of the Michigan game, I think all of their hardest games are played at Husky Stadium.
I was just about to say that, Trev, and that's damn straight why I think they could push it too is Ohio State in Seattle, Illinois in Seattle, Oregon in Seattle. The crowds are going to be freaking nuts for those games. Absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't know. I like what this team has going for it, guys. I want to see, the couple of things that we question. How does the linebacker core come about? With these guys coming back from injury, if they're back full health and they're ready to roll, I think that's a pretty deep unit. Yep. And then after that is, how's the offensive line step up? Because last year they did give up a ton of sacks. So that's something. How well did they push? And then the defensive line. Getting the sack rate up. So those are the things that we need to see happen, but there is a path. And we'll see. So let us know what you guys think. Are we being too bullish? Are we not? Are you guys feeling kind of what we're throwing down too, man? Because I like Jed Fish, man. I think he's going to be a good coach for Washington, and give him some time and let him build this roster. And he's going to do some stuff for you like he did at Arizona in a short amount of time. Trev, anything else before we shut her down?
Nope. As always, guys, come check out our ats all around here. With Substack, we have some good writers they're putting out some really good reviews and things like that of teams. And I know that Brendan has the guy that's writing for us. He's putting out a bunch of reviews on conference outlooks.
Yeah.
In the coming days.
Yeah, you got some Group of 6 conference projections coming up on there from friend of ours,
So
Garrett Armbrust.
Go
So
check
that's on
the
Substack
out.
And then just hit us up on the socials, man. We want to hear from you in the comments on YouTube, and the one that helps us out with the algorithm. But two, we generally just want to hear what you have to say about your teams. We love football. We do season previews in the off season, all on the macro side. Obviously we don't get in the weeds on every single player, but this is just kind of what we do. And then in the regular season, very soon, kickoff's right around the corner. We're going to go live on Sundays and do a week recap, and then during the week.
And there is a live chat during our live show. So if you want to throw questions, throw statements out, we will put them on live if they catch our attention.
Yeah, it gets fun. So
it does get fun.
Jump in there. We hope we see you around. So
take
it easy. Good night. God bless.
God bless.